Grace and peace, social camp family. This is Pastor B.R. Ali, aka Pastor in the Hood. I am super blessed, and I believe I pastor the greatest congregation in the world, in the Psalmist Worship Center, where they allow yours truly to pastor, to lead, to guide, to teach, and then also to be transparent before a transparent people. We're real people with real issues, serving a real God who has real solutions. One of the things I found out today about my congregation is that they allow me to deal with them when God is dealing with me. Today I preached a message entitled God's Property. I came out of Psalm 24, verse 1 through 5. We are doing a series through the books of the Bible. And in the midst of that, God dealt with me about me being his property. One of the challenges in pastoring is that sometimes we can be so hermeneutically correct that we forget to worship the one that we are called by and the one that we are called to serve. We sometimes go before the people of God with words of wisdom, words of encouragement that have never touched our lives. I realized as a pastor, I can't speak for no other pastors. I share with my congregation today. I don't have an idea what any church does. I realize the services I see on YouTube are many times edited. The shows that I watch on the Word Network, TBN, and other Christian stations are edited. Even when I was on television for 10 years, I realized that all of my services, all of the works, all of the tapes were edited. So it's not my will, it's not my will to put down any pastor, to put down any preacher, to put down any minister of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. But it is my desire in my local assembly to become a better pastor to the people of God that I serve. As I share with them today, as a natural father, I have always been a failure. Those of you know that I wrote a book, When a Father Fails. To my natural children, I had not done what I needed to do, what God had called me to do. To my spiritual children, I'm a much better father. And I'm asking my spiritual children to allow me to help me to understand where I fail my own children. I don't want to fail God. And I realized that in the midst of that conversation, in the midst of that discourse, in the midst of my transparency before the congregation, I realized that not only did my people that I serve, the people that I serve, the God's people that I serve needed to recommit, but me as a pastor needed to recommit also. I just had an experience. I came home and my wife and I were in our rockers, and in the midst of our rockers, I told her that I was overly tired. I felt worn out. And in the midst of that, I fell asleep. And not realizing until a couple of hours later, I couldn't get myself together. I could not wake up. I could not get my body in order. In the midst of that, I realized that I had pulled out the vent of the air conditioner that blows for the outside. We have indoor units. And in the midst of that, the heat had overtaken my body. The heat had overtaken the room. It was behind us. It was hidden. But I realized now that God was showing me that I was his property, even in the midst of me not knowing what was going on behind me. What am I saying? Just like Jeremiah is written in Jeremiah 1:8, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I want to encourage somebody tonight as I now develop a life, a worship life, a better worship life. I don't want to study to preach. I don't want to study to dump the house. I want to study to worship God at all times. I want to study to worship him in spirit and in truth. In the midst of that, God was showing me just because I haven't seen some things, just because he hasn't released some things, does not mean that they don't exist. He showed me that I did not know that heat was behind me. I did not know that I was overtaken with heat and exhaust from an air-conditioned unit, but during the midst of my sleeping, God was protecting me because I am his property. And because he protected me, because I am his property, what the enemy may have been trying to work for my bad, God has turned around and worked it for my good. So let me say this to you in closing. It is my prayer to become a better pastor. It is my prayer to become a better preacher. It is my prayer to become a better Christian. It is my prayer to become a better child of God. And to my New Psalmist family and to all my friends in social camp, may we study to worship God in spirit and in truth. This is the Pastor in the Hood, Pastor B.R. Ali, signing off, saying that I'm praying that you have a good night and let God be your guide. Study to worship him. Peace, family. I love you. God bless you. Later.